Yeah.
When Norman came here, he was sat there and he was like, "So what is podcast?" So Terrence told him it's like just a
Just
conversation.
conversation.
And after he was done, he was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
I felt like I was talking."
You did very well too, huh?
Yeah, really. Sometimes we were just the Cree. He was fluent in
Yeah.
some words we couldn't understand too. So,
Okay, yeah. What helps me, is when they ask me questions in Cree to say it in English after. It helps me learn more too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
And Norman's daughter was here after the podcast. Dad, can we buy podcast equipment? yeah.
So that girl's probably in their cabin cottage. Setting
All
up
set up.
already. Your strip turns.
Yeah, well, welcome to our what we're doing here, Little House Podcast.
Thank you.
You're our second female to have on our. This is
Episode 19. This is episode 19.
episode 19.
Yeah.
So you're our second female.
You and Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's kind of hard to get women here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They're shy. They're
You're shy to be around him.
Because most of them are my. I'm just kidding.
yeah. They're always hesitant when we ask them.
Yeah.
They ask questions and say maybe in the future.
I think they're afraid of to ask whatever we ask whatever, you know. They're afraid
Okay,
of
yeah.
the questions. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but we're good people. We're nice people.
Your own review.
Well, maybe at the end, when we finish, you can tell them, encourage women.
Encourage them, yeah.
We'll do like a short clip on that, and we'll
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
post it on social media.
So hopefully after this episode, more will agree. Come join us.
Yeah, it's definitely like a different energy too. Like for myself, I am naturally a very shy person. I think it's something like very Wapmaksta. Like we're very quiet but like in my recent roles, like Miss Wapmaksta and Miss Eenou, like being a woman that has to represent other women in like larger spaces, like political spaces, bigger events, a lot of regional events and provincial level and national level, I really had to, work on my confidence.
Come
a
out
lot.
of your shell.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I've changed a lot in the last 2 years. I don't think I would have been able to come on here 2 years ago.
So right now you're Miss Eenou.
Yes, that's the title I currently carry, yeah.
Nangit, with that experience, what were you able to do, or what places have you visited or events that you did?
Well, it was definitely more as Miss Wapmaksta, because Miss Eenou, I've only had the title since February. So Miss Wapmaksta was where I really brought it to like a provincial under Quebec Native women. I'm on their youth council too. And then at a national level for Miss Indigenous Canada and a lot of regional events. Like I think there was the first Indigenous Women's Leadership event. I attended the CNYC Youth Summit last year, I believe. So it definitely brought me to many, many places, not just local, but regional and, in Canada. So it was definitely a good experience, and I'm still learning a lot too. So.
I hang you. Like, what places did you travel to for these kind of events?
Well, for Miss Indigenous Canada, it was in Ontario. I don't really go outside of Quebec. I'm not really much of like a traveler outside of Quebec. With my son, I prefer to stay in familiar places. But I guess the furthest it's brought me is Ontario at Six Nations.
Six Nations. Where's that? Is that around
In Toronto?
Toronto?
Yeah, it's near Toronto. Yeah.
How big is that community, Six Nations?
I wrote you the, what's his name there? The
Brandon
Brandon
Montour.
Montour.
Mm-hmm.
You know him?
No, I don't know him.
He played for the
Florida.
Florida Panthers who won the Stanley Cup with the Panthers.
Okay, yeah.
Like he's indigenous,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a big deal when he won.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I always wanted to say this. Vad jag var match då. Hon känner nog han gömmer det. Vad match då gör. I just think they have the, I'll just say it, sexiest accent. Cree Nation. So I told you before, right, when I was on CNYC board, and whenever what Maxto representative spoke, everybody was quiet because just the. I would say that what Maxto has the fluent like yung nano diyan, and I don't know if you guys hindi medyo nashke sugar yung do din ba.
Can you try talking more with that accent? I wanna.
Okay, time go guy what Max to. So I always give a shout out to Max.
Somewhere, the previous episode with when we had Lyndon. He kind of mentioned this, that you're gonna join us tomorrow. He said, and he's like, "Not the great then." It means I can't wait.
So can you tell more to the youth, Pandiochian, and where you're from, and just then what Max to then where you came from, just for the youth to
Yeah.
get to know Jade.
Well, I was born in Val-d'Or, where many of us are born. And I grew up mostly, my early childhood was in Wamakso. I started school there, and then my parents moved to Montreal. And my parents' story is, I always find it very interesting. It's my stepdad, Matthew Eiserhoff Jr., and then my mom, Natasja Mukash. They moved to Montreal with a suitcase, for the four of us as a family, and it was just me, my sister, and they had a newborn baby. And they decided to move to Montreal, very randomly, and they really built it from the ground up for them. And they put us in school there, and then we stayed there for about 8 years, and I went to semi-private art school. So I'm classically trained in music. Like I was in a choir, and I played in an orchestra, like a band, and I learned a lot about the arts. And my parents being artists, it was definitely like I got the cultural side of art, but also the classical side through my schooling. And then towards the end of my high school, I moved back to Upmaksto. I think I was 13, and that's where I started working with the youth more. And I lived with my grandparents for a while, and I graduated school there at Baraban Eenou School. I got the top student Queen Escapi Award and the Governor's General Award in high school. And that was 10 years ago now, so a long time ago. But yeah, that was when my passion started for working with the youth, definitely was in high school. And then I was nominated onto the local youth council, and I started working at the youth center. We had a very small youth center. It's a known fact that our youth center burnt down in Wamaksto, and it was a beautiful building, that my uncle Picasso got built for the youth there. And when we lost that, we had to kind of rebuild, the safe space that we had for youth. And for myself, working in such a small room, we had to accommodate a lot of youth, and we had to build that up. And that's where, my passion began for creating safe spaces for youth. So now, 10 years later, I see the youth that I used to watch at the youth center. I used to sell pop and chips there. Like that was my thing. And I would create, programs and events for them along with my team. And now those kids are running the youth center. So it's definitely interesting to see the youth, they they know what it's like to have a safe space, so they create that for other youth. Yeah.
So you said you were doing classical music,
Yes.
like instruments or?
Yeah, I played. I tried the flute, the violin, the clarinet, the trumpet, and then I ended up on the bassoon, which is like not really a well-known instrument. It's like a bass instrument. But yeah, I was classically trained in that for a few years, and it was fun, very different, and sometimes I miss it, but it's definitely something that I think some youth are going into. Like there are a few classically trained musicians in EOSG, but I didn't go past high school with it. I know some of them are in university now, so.
I was hoping you would say, what do you call it, opera?
Opera?
Show us what you can
No, I didn't sing an opera.
Do we have that in USG? Those kind of classes? No.
do. I don't think so.
No, I think like there are some that are highlighted throughout EOSG. Like I think there's a lot of cellists. I think there's an opera singer from EOSG, but it's definitely like a newer kind of art form. I think that's starting to come up. I also danced ballet for 7 years, so that's a completely different world. But I think it taught me a lot. Now coming back to EOSG. Yeah.
I think that would be good to have someday in our schools.
Yeah.
I know the school social health in CNG level. They're talking about having after school programs on music, on dancing. Even we thought of for students, hopefully in a year or two to the him. So you get to sign up your child, then they might their school.
And I had university class. I had to take elective, I think they're called. Like you have to take them. So I did music. I played.
Triangle.
I don't know. It was just.
What you call those?
Tambourine.
No, it was. I don't know. We were just taught about kinds of music, how it started, but I didn't like it. I think I had like 15 or something. No, I failed. I failed that class.
15 is failed.
No, I failed that class because I had to take another elective the following semester, and my final exam was right on the Cree tournament. I was supposed to play a Class A, but I didn't go because of that music class. And I've never played Class A in Val-d'Or yet. Never. Because of my music class.
Songwriter again, couldn't
Yeah. Breakup songs.
So could you tell us about how it all started? Someone nominating you, and why you decided to run for
How many nominations? Because the reason why I say that is I wasn't there when they hosted Paul John. Can you all think the nominations from Womenji, West Gagnish, Miss Disney? I forgot which committee, so
Yeah.
we had a couple.
Well,
I mean, my best accent. But sorry, go ahead.
I received nominations for Youth Grand Chief from Chisasabi and Wiminji, and then Deputy Youth Grand Chief, I believe, from Miss Disney. And I thought about it for a while, and my family, like where my family history comes from, like Mukash, my grandfather, Matthew, and his leadership role and his impact on Eenou Ishkwaau, I really wanted his blessing, to be able to accept the nomination to be a youth leader. So it was definitely like I spoke to him and I spoke to my family, and I definitely had to think about my son first. As a mom, it's a little bit different as a parent. And I actually spoke to Stacy Bear yesterday, and she told me her story of being a mom, as a youth grand chief. So, I think that kind of validated it for me. I wasn't sure if I was making the right decision for my son. But a lot of people reassured me. I also spoke to Adrian Gunner. His son was 4 years old when he first got in. So, and my son's the same age now. So I asked him what it was like to have a young child, getting into a leadership position. And he definitely said, it's possible. You just need to have that support and, the right people around you. And I know that with my partner, Dale, I had that support from him. And, accepting the nomination, we were like, now we have to campaign. It's just the beginning to accept the nomination. And I had that support from my partner, and we have our son with us. So it's like we're on a big family road trip. So it's definitely like worth it to, accept the nomination. But I think the main teaching too I always got from my grandfather was when the people ask you to lead, you need to accept, so that was definitely on my mind too. When I went through the process of, accepting or not accepting, that was definitely, in the back of my mind too.
And your campaign trail, where did you start and where are you planning to go to?
We started in Waswanipi, and then we went on to OJ and Mistissini, Nemska, then here. Then we're doing East Main, Wiminji, Chisasabi, then Wapmaksta. And we're doing a virtual debate on August 4th. So I wanted to be in Wapmaksta for like the last week. I really wanted to be in my community and spend time with them, because I'm just happy with my experience so far on the campaign, no matter the outcome. For me, it was really just getting to know the youth more. And like I've been to so many regional events in Eenou Ishkwaau. It was nice to like spend time with the youth in their community, with just them, and get to experience what it's like to be like a youth in Waskaganish, like tonight at volleyball night. And I think it's really fun to be a part of those events too. So, my campaign is definitely really fun. Like, it's worth it. And, being able to, I really wanted to make sure I had like 2 days in each community, like minimum, because I felt I was worried about my son too. Definitely, I'm like really campaigning like as a mom, I always think, what's the best way for him to have the least amount of driving and the most amount of time in each community to just be there and have fun. So far, he's doing really well. He really loves traveling with us as a family. Yeah.
Well, if he can travel all 9 Creek communities, he won't have a problem for the next 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's been traveling with me a lot since I got in as like Miss Magsta. The first few times my mom would watch him, and then she was like, it's time for you to start bringing him with you. My mom would bring me everywhere when I was a kid, and I've always been very shy naturally. And like my mom said, even at 2 years old, I was still shy. I would like just sit next to her, and she said it's a good experience for your children to always be by your side and watch what you do for work, so that they know when you're working and to respect that. So it was, he's already used to traveling already, all throughout Eenou Ishkwaau. So this one is just basically condensed into, less than a month. So yeah.
So like when you travel, like I guess people like approach you, right? Like like telling you what's going on, like what kind of feedbacks do you receive from the youth?
Yeah, well, we wanted to do something a little bit different. I wasn't really comfortable with like approaching people and say like vote for me.
Yeah.
That wasn't my style, and I wanted to do something that would actually have an impact, on the communities. And we actually been meeting with the youth councils in each community if they're available. I really wanted to know what it's like to work with the youth, from the ones that work directly with the youth all the time. That's their jobs, that's their lives. It's to be amongst the youth and to create really great spaces for them and events. So that's definitely like the main part of my campaign, is to really get to know them and understand what it's like to work, directly with the youth. And people always ask me, the main question I get is like, what's your action plan? And I always tell people so far on my campaign, I really hear a lot of broken promises for the youth from, whether it's, their local governments or at a regional level or, wherever. And I felt right away that I didn't want to be adding to those broken promises for the youth, so I don't go up to people and say, I promise I'll fix this for you. And I really wanted to say that my campaign is me building my action plan to know directly from the youth and not from myself, because my experience as a youth from Momaxto is completely different than anyone else, and we're all unique. So it's definitely been a big learning experience, and each community is extremely unique, like very, very different. Even if they're close together, they each have their own challenges and also their own accomplishments too. So, I get a lot of questions. It's mostly the same ones, but I always stay true to, my original vision for my campaign, which was to be a voice for the youth and not to, speak on behalf of them without getting to know them first.
I think with campaigning, win or lose, I think it's still important, for people to understand youth and to be able to share, I guess, your platform. And I guess it kind of helps people understand the situation in the USG when people campaign. I think win or lose, it's still good.
So, like what you just said now, like, are you taking that road, like something you want to bring for the youth? Are you doing that? Like, this is what I will do. Like, do you have any plans or like your vision?
I think my main vision, like I said, I wanted to keep it realistic, keep it possible, keep it under the mandate of the CNYC. Keep the original vision of the CNYC and just kind of strengthen that, for today's youth. Because, in 1985, when it all started, completely different now. They didn't have, podcasts back then or social media. So now it's very different. And like for myself, one of my main like action plans, I guess, or like my main point is, all the questions that I get, how will you support youth and, that need help, that need mental health support? How will you support youth that need help in school or post-secondary or coming back to the communities? And I always remind them that, back in when they, signed the JBNQA, they created so many organizations and entities like Cree Health Board, the justice system, Cree School Board, and I feel like all of those organizations have been working really hard to create resources. So for me, it's really, making sure that the resources and the programs that are created for, to create solutions for our challenges, is that we know what our resources are. So for myself, I guess that's my main, plan would be to really strengthen those relationships with organizations that have the mandate, that the youth are looking for their solutions. So for me, it's, just really strengthening those and also improving them for the future and for the youth to have a voice in those organizations.
Can you, I read your key points on utilizing ancestral teachings to create modern day solutions. Can you touch on that a little?
Yeah, it's, I really wanted to keep my key points like kind of broad. I didn't want to have, like I said, promises or anything. And I think that's the main one is, as a, and all the work that I've done in my lifetime and all the things I've learned from my grandparents, my parents, my community, it was a lot of ancestral teachings that I feel like have been kind of dormant for a while. In my work as Miss Momaxto, I really tried to revitalize like ceremonial teachings or traditional teachings that, like I said, have been pretty dormant. So for me, it's bringing those to life again. Like I think I posted, one of the main ones is like the 4 directions, and it's kind of something that we use in our life, even if you don't realize it, and at what stage are we in the youth stage? And, each stage of life has something to learn from and something to teach. So it's really about kind of instilling that in the organization, that if I were to be elected, that I would follow those, and to really talk about the importance of them and how it can change your life and benefit from it, if you learn from those. So.
Change it with your voice, 18 down the water.
Oh. I feel like I've been talking so much, like each meeting I go to, it gets like a little bit worse and worse.
So when is the debate you said?
August 4th.
Is it a live
virtual
debate?
Make sure you have
Facebook?
moderation.
So there will be a moderator, I guess, to mute someone that passes the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be that moderator.
Do they give you like set of questions before, or just
We haven't received any. I don't know if they will.
They'll probably do it on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did in
Sisney?
what
Yeah.
JBCCS did for
Mm-hmm.
the Grand Chief.
Yeah, no.
Grand Chief, yeah.
Who's organizing that?
It's
Debate.
CNYC?
I'm not sure. I think it's CNYC, but I don't know if they're bringing in like I think it was Chris Pedawabno who did it for
Oh.
CNG, but I'm not sure what's planned for that exactly.
So there's you and Kevin for Grand Chief.
Yes.
For youth Grand Chief.
Who's deputy?
There's,
You guys know?
Bob.
Darius Nakapo from Chesapeake,
Oh.
Francine Matthew from Chesapeake, and Drayden from
Women.
Womenji.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So all of you guys are from the coastal except
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met Kevin last week. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was here with Lyndon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was his campaign manager. Yeah.
So he got to hang around with us a bit.
Yeah, I was able to see him, and we ran into each other in Mistissini at the Youth Summer Gala, and then here today at the volleyball night. So it's really nice to I feel like all of the candidates are so connected, we all know each other, and we're really able to create a supportive space for all of us together. So it's nice that me and him have been able to be at events together,
I think when it comes to debates, I think Cree Nation are the
Nicest.
nicest.
Yeah. I know.
compared to politics in the States.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
It's almost like a Q&A.
I know what Norman said. It was very long in this Disney. I hope it's not the same for you. And there's 2 of you, so
Yeah.
I hope they don't have 50 questions.
Yeah. Yeah, because 3 minutes can really add up.
It was like that with when they did the deputy grand chief tour.
Yeah,
it was
with
like
4 of
4
them.
hours, probably
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours, something
Yeah.
like that.
Too long. I think I would slur my words me if I was answering those questions.
Catch up with that, man.
If I was running, I would bring that Trump style.
Ito do it. We're too nice to be like that, eh?
Yeah.
I see that Nadine I have a story to tell you. You said Matthew Israel? Is that Ashley's brother?
Yes. Yeah, my
yeah,
stepdad.
we hosted Ashley here before.
Okay.
It was during the winter, and Ashley was sitting there just talking about their Montreal days when they were growing up. And Ashley was saying, he was talking in Cree, and he was like, Yana, Matthew. That means like, you understand?
No.
Yana, Matthew. It means like, oh, my late
Brother.
brother Matthew. Just sitting there, just
Started laughing.
yeah, it was really funny. Yeah. It was like, Yana, Matthew. And I said, Chishko Yani. So bad, you know.
Yeah, I used to live with Ashley when I lived in Mississippi for school and hockey. That's how I knew Sean and Matthew,
Yeah.
the whole family. Yeah, they're crazy once they're all three brothers are together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This one time we were at the restaurant. We were about to leave from the restaurant, so we all stood up, and then Matthew stood up too, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh crap, where's my leg?"
Sometimes people don't know what to say when he jokes around about it.
Yeah, that was another. It was a fun podcast, no? Actually,
So, what's your next community after this? I forgot what you said.
East Main, I believe.
East Main?
Yeah.
Yeah, Linton was here 2 days ago from East Main.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because we had a meeting with the youth council I think last week, and we were planning, what should we do? And I think Darius Nakapo was going to be there, one of the candidates for deputy. And they were like, "Oh, let's have a fun and games or a sports night or something, but we should have a traditional feast." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds really nice." And they said, "Yeah, we'll get some geese," and that's what I was expecting. And then I saw them release the poster. It says Big Back Night.
Oh yeah, I saw that poster.
I was like, "Oh, I thought it was gonna be a traditional feast."
where are they doing the
East Main.
East Main?
East Main, yeah.
So that's tomorrow or this.
I guess it's tomorrow. Yeah.
Are you gonna go?
Yeah, my name is on the poster.
There was these girls here that did a Big Back podcast.
Oh yeah, did
One
you see
episode.
that?
Yeah.
They did a good 20 minutes.
They were
Yeah.
feasting here.
Yeah.
I thought they were joking at first, and they were like, "Okay, we're ready. Help us set up."
And Ryan came into.
Yeah, they had us guests.
Oh, it was fun. Any interns?
I like. Are you doing like planning to host an event like one of the communities you're going, or you're just like following what the community is doing?
Some communities like Mistissini, they were already having a gala and they were having the arrival of the canoe brigade. So when I go to the communities that already have events, I don't want to take away from what the youth council is already doing. So I just join and I ask for permission to share for a few minutes, and at most of them, like, there have been other candidates, so they give us like equal opportunity to share with the youth and answer questions. And then in the communities where they don't have anything planned, that's when I kind of step in and offer my services. I have a lot of experience in event planning, so it was fun to kind of, reignite that on this campaign. And like, we sponsor the snacks, or we make the posters, we do the graphic design. So we do what we can in each community. Because the way I plan my campaign, you can tell it's like from, the bottom up. And we didn't want to, go back and forth in any way. Keeping in mind our son, we wanted to do the least amount of driving. And people, have been telling me, oh, you should be in Waswanipi for the gathering. You should be in Wapmexta for the gathering. You missed the Chesapeake gathering. There's a lot of big events that have been happening. And for me, it's just about visiting. I don't want to make it a point to really show up, when the big events are happening. I think it's okay to just visit and do what we can in each community. And so far, it's been good. So.
So in Mississippi, you went to the youth gala,
Yes.
and then here volleyball night, and then tomorrow the big back.
Big bag
Big
night.
bag.
Yeah.
Is there any other events that you are planning to go?
I'm not sure yet. I would have to ask my campaign manager.
Oh.
He's the one, he loves talking and reaching out to people, and he loves being on the phone. So he's been doing a really, really good job at, reaching out and planning with everyone. And yeah, we've really kind of just been going with the flow. Honestly, it's just, what we do, what we can when we can, basically.
Winging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something we have in common. We always wing it. Like we said earlier, we did prepare like the first few
Episodes.
Yeah, we had like questions there.
That is our board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
I think when we started this, I think only him had some talking, like experience because he used to work.
I used
with
to Wajagam Ugushkin CB Yumayabi against the 92.5 FM.
Yeah, so he was the only one that had experience.
or B5. Yeah.
So me and Ray were just first time doing this.
Yeah. No formal education.
Just vibes.
Just vibes.
It all started like he. Well, I guess I'll tell you how we started. He had those for a while, like
Equipment.
couple of months. He never used them. So one day we just did the wall, putting the wall, and then it's for the podcast and the table, and then he hired somebody to set up the gear, the equipment, the mics, and then we were all here at the same time, me, him, and playing pool, just hanging around, and then we just tried it out for 3 minutes, not 3-4 minutes, just testing it out. And then that's when I said, we're going to do a real session soon. we did, I don't know, an hour? First one. Just us three. The fourth guy didn't show up.
Okay.
He was shy. So that's when we started. I guess we can say, how do we say it, Conrad? We stumbled upon it.
Yeah, I just walked in and it was all set up. And it sat here.
This is my chair, he said. No one sits here. And he still waits for his paycheck every episode.
time.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't show us the views. We don't know if we're making money from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Wait.
Let me see.
We've been having problems with the camera.
Okay.
I think it's when we plug it, when it's on too long, it kind of overheats.
Oh, yeah.
So when it stops, but at least the audio.
Ray-
We never had problems with the audio.
Ray wasn't here on time, and we had problems. It's a peeweed car ran up and said, so it's a peeweed.
like we said, we're not experts. We say the equipment, but I think Ray's getting better.
Yeah.
With
Slowly.
the software that he uses. So we're getting there. Yeah, we never thought we would, like the first episode, we said, we're going to host this person. I thought we were just like joking and having fun.
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't know we would have the chairman of the Creole board, Grand Chief,
And we have people, candidates
and
campaigning.
we didn't expect this. I thought we would just invite some, local people or most of the time, but
At first, we were joking around. This is who we're gonna have, like just laughing it out. Didn't take it seriously, but we ended up having a couple of those guests.
it's been fun.
Yeah.
We always have fun.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of turned into like one of the main stops now. Like, we knew we were coming to Waskaganish, and, my campaign manager was like, we have to stop by Eenou Lifestyle. We have to try to get you a podcast. It's like Waskaganish is known for that, and, we should really try to get in there. So, it was really nice to, have this space to talk to. It's definitely different. Like, I've done like a few radio interviews so far, and it's very different to like sit together and just talk rather than, you have 15 minutes. You're going live, you have 15 minutes and you have these questions, and it's very different now. So, yeah.
Another question, right?
So, you come from family that were in leadership. Can you tell me, I guess, some stories or what really made you want to take your life into that direction and, I guess, lead the people?
Well, one of my earliest memories of, I guess I'll start with my parents. So my mom was a youth rep from Wapmaksta, and my stepdad was a youth chief in Mistisney, and they met at a CNYC event. And I believe my uncle Picasso was youth chief of Wapmaksta at that time. So, youth leadership was definitely the main thing happening in my family at that time. And then my grandfather, he really started from the bottom, deputy chief and then chief in his community. And then, he went regional after. But one of my earliest memories, we were living in Montreal at the time, and I didn't really understand the concept yet of politics or campaigning or, what a grand chief was. I must have been 5 or 6 years old. And I remember my mom waking me up early in the morning, like the sun wasn't up yet. I had to get ready for school, and she woke me up gently. And I remember, I was so small, I remember her picking me up, and she held me in her arms and she said, Grandpa got in as Grand Chief. That's one of my earliest memories. And I don't really remember much. I mean, I was very, very young, but I do remember my grandfather, I've actually met some people who say, I remember your grandfather bringing you to the office in Montreal at the time. And, I remember seeing you when you were 5, 6 years old. And I remember the campaign, I believe it was for the elections after that. They used to do car rallies, in the communities. I don't see that anymore, but, the supporters would go around and parade in the community with their cars. And I was almost thinking about bringing that back, but I don't know how it would work nowadays. So definitely, I remember the campaign. I remember the elections and everything. And I think for me, leadership is not only in the Mukash side of my family. It's also my biological dad, Stephen Boudriaz. His brother was also the chief, I believe, of the Algonquin Nation. I hope I'm not getting that wrong, but his late brother was also chief. And then on my grandmother's side, she's Abenaki. Her father was a chief of their community, Abenaki community. So there's a lot of male leadership in my community, and in my family tree. So for me, it was definitely bringing that female recognition for leadership, and because often the women are the one that are always beside their partner, as leaders, and their dedication to being a partner of a leader is, just as important. It's a very important role, and I recognize my grandma for doing that, for so many years. And for myself, I kind of slowly, naturally got into that role, and it was definitely learning a lot from my grandfather, from my parents and their experience and working with the youth in leadership positions. So it was definitely something I grew up having very interesting conversations around the dinner table. There was politics and very, I guess, serious topics too. So I learned a lot from that and just my home life. So I think it's definitely a unique experience.
If you need if you want to know how to host a parade or something like that, you can ask these guys. They hosted was it last year? They hosted a championship parade.
Okay.
They won the
2 years ago.
they won the Cree tournament in
Okay, yeah.
in Gatineau.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a parade. they can tell you
How it works.
how it works.
So your uncle in Pakiso, is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Pakiso?
Yeah. Him and my mom have Abenaki names, Natasha
Oh.
and Picasso.
Oh.
Yeah, but in Watmakstu they call him Bagisho.
Pakiso.
And my mom is Natasha.
We sat on his booth two
Yeah,
times.
two
we
times.
We rented his booth for 2 concerts. We went,
Okay, yeah, the lodge
Hap
there.
one?
Hap
Yeah, Hapton. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I was there for I think Blink 182, Nicki Minaj. I forget who else, but it's definitely a fun experience going there.
Very
Yeah.
nice. The washroom, the food.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't have to go
It's
out.
different.
yeah, yeah. I think it's worth it
Yeah.
to go there. Yeah.
He said I'm the one that has
Yeah.
a record of the amount of money we spent in that
Oh,
suite.
Food and alcohol.
Yeah.
He hasn't messaged me since that.
Somebody
Like
broke our record.
Somebody breaking our record. I hit dice we advanced polls and election day, and for advanced polls, are they doing it like
Online?
online, something similar to CNG?
No, unfortunately, they weren't able to this time. I'm not sure when they'll be able to, but I'm hoping in the future they can do it online because the youth are, mostly, I think they'll be the ones to utilize it the most. But advanced polls are on July 31st. I think the local youth councils are the best people to reach out to find out where the polling stations are. And then election day is August 7th.
August 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to have that option too, online voting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm more of a modern guy, and then these guys are like election day, voting day.
I like it when I walk in there and just say, Conrad, blue boy. Yes, give me that. Go there, the booth.
Put it in a box. Even when they count votes, he's there too.
So if he likes to watch it, so if you need what do you call those? What do you call that?
Scrutineer,
yeah.
something.
What's that scrutineer?
It should when I run in, it shouldn't.
Make
Not to see
sure
that-
everything
not to see
is
that.
done right.
Oh.
It's like, so he's like observing that nobody's cheating or miscounting the ballots.
Yeah, so it's watching.
So yeah, if you need somebody here, he's your
He
guy.
likes to go there. The local one, when there's elections for local, for chief and councillors, so they do it in pub. People can go there and just they count and they write down the name. And that kind of It's fun. It's almost like watching my haps. So no,
Before we finish, is there something that you'd like to share? I think we talked about some good things. We had a good discussion. But if we're missing something, if there is, do you want to share it?
Well, I've always been ending off my interviews and my recordings with definitely encouraging the youth to follow and, keep themselves informed and follow all of the candidates. For myself, I think it comes from my pageant experience. I've done 3 pageants and they're all about supporting each other as contestants. We don't look at it as a competition. It's mostly about supporting each other and whoever is chosen is the best representative at that time. So for myself, I really support my fellow candidates and I encourage everyone to follow them on social media. I think we're all trying our best to keep the youth informed. And like I said before, I don't really approach people and ask them to vote for me. I keep them informed and I explain my campaign, my platform, my experience, and I tell them that their vote is for who they think is the best for their community and their nation. So I always, encourage them to read the platforms and, basically prepare themselves to make a good decision, for their votes. So yeah, that's what I've been ending off my interviews with, just encouraging all of my fellow candidates to, I really see the work that they've put in. I've known each one of them in different capacities over the years. And for myself, I think that they would all do an amazing job, if they were to be elected.
You know what I always remember when we talk about elections, and I think it goes way back to just how we treat each other, the candidates who are running for we're too nice, but it goes way back. If you read the late Chief Billy Diamond's book, it says in the book he ran against his dad, late Malcolm. So I guess how you did it back then was people lined up behind you, right?
Yeah.
And so Billy won that election.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that they went home together, hugging, and laughed about it.
Oh, here's my son. I guess it's time to finish.
So we thank you for coming. And,
yes, of course.
And just kung once sa gusto niyo the hashnesh tanode. It's gonna advance polls on July 31 and debates at August 4 and August 7 na election day. So don't know idea much.
Yanni, I asked you earlier.
We're just finishing up.
No, we told you like the beginning there, the woman we try to invite to,
Yeah.
like they can't.
Tell
their
your
history.
experience here. 1 minute 30-second experience here.
Okay.
Your experience.
Well, I definitely encourage all of our young women to, really. Sorry, I hear my son crying in the background. I'm a little distracted. But I definitely encourage all you young women, our women in Eenou Ishkwaau to, strengthen their voices and realize that, you have a lot of teachings to give and, you're all courageous and funny. And I think that it would be nice to hear more, women laughing on here. I think our Cree women have the most beautiful laughs.
Yes.
And I think you guys can really bring that out in our women. And they're a bunch of very respectful young men. And they really, I had a great time here and I feel very, very welcomed.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Since come na di beja way not.
Yeah.
So East Main's got out for the next 25-26 and got one her and Women G on the 28-29 30s we didn't just be did up. So thank you for being here. Since come done.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
go and sagiyut pambuyege. Nasya kamege 140 daige. Nita atishopan to 115. Which cocked book de honage. Thank you, Migach.